Vamos a la competencia de Carla. Ay. Están los puros chivitos y borregos y cabras y lo que se lleva. Puercos. Ahí viene toda la parvada. Ahí vienen a concursar. Parece rancho aquí.
¿Cómo salió?
Due to the number of seniors showing in the shoe that's in this building, we assume you guys are around. The first week just started, so you guys will be doing it in this time.
Esta es la competencia.
Unique in terms of look from the side to move up in this particular class. Young man's done a great job fighting this one all day so far. She's driving now. He's doing his work, he's doing his homework. That thing later on, she's incredibly skinny, okay? If that thing matures and gets some shape and muscle down her back, that thing balances up good from the side. If we're gonna do anything, we gotta blow her open just a nickel. We gotta stout that one at the ground in terms of foot size and bone. Give these kids a round of applause, we'll get that next class in.
Mejoraste mejor.
coolest pair of wethers over here. I will go ahead and just leave them how they stand. Young ladies that goes ahead and wins, I think has probably just a nickel more height to that shoulder, one that maybe has a little more flare in terms of outer leg shape, and maybe just hits just a little more proportional from the side. But one that maybe doesn't have quite as much that natural rib compared to the one in second, maybe not quite just as round in terms of that forerib. Young ladies there in second, like I said, comparatively, I think that one's bolder about upper rib shape. That one comes with some integrity there on the move. For me, one that maybe gets a little slack there in its loin, maybe a little frail in there at the ground.
That perfect. When we compare her to some ahead of her in this particular lineup, we've got to be more blown apart, more opened up to compete and just stouter. One that's just a different quality, kind of a female here. Too fragile in terms of her bone work. We've got to get that one's top knocked down. We've got to have a little bit better presentation. In my mind, the one with the fewest holes that comes out here and I deem structurally correct, good enough in terms of body shape. We've changed one thing, that's the thickness of her neck and the length of her neck. Young man right here is going to win this particular class. The stouty that's extra hairy and bold and massive, but we've got to be better structured through our knee and shoulder. Young lady here is going to be second. In my mind, the way it goes next, okay, we've got to go structured. Young lady there in maroon is going to be third. Young lady here is going to be fourth, fifth, and sixth. Thank you guys for coming out.
Young ladies that comes next, that's the bigger, rounder rib one. That one, I think actually comes with the added stoutness. When you get in behind her, I think that one just opens up there more to her pin sit, works more shape through her inner and outer leg. With that, she probably gets a touch deeper there in her breastbone, one that maybe doesn't just pattern up quite as youthful as the one that comes directly in front of her. Very high quality set, two just very contrasting kinds. Congratulations, both of y'all.
A little coarser about her neck, all right? Love the feet, legs, and the structure in that one. Very, very close out here. Put this microphone down. We'll go select you a champion and reserve of our new division.
Favorite one, staying second.
Entire time where we have a good look from the side. Make sure we keep that leg a little closer to me to cover up right there in the center of her chest. I think the next few is, boy, it's getting real picky. Young lady in the pink, in my mind, if we can get that thing to go a little bit, it probably helps you out quite a bit today, right? Young goat, not been shown just a whole bunch, I would assume, but let's get that thing rolling just a touch. Now, the ability to get what you get out of that after one stubborn that way, absolutely impressive. I'm going to put this microphone down. We're going to take one more look. I may even circle it one more time. We'll pick you a champion in the reserve here in the senior division.
Se siente un poco nerviosa Carlita. Vamos a darle ánimo. Creo que ya va a empezar. Y ya va a empezar.
Another really tough set of show here in Competencia.
Ánimo, Carla. Ánimo, vieja.
Across the board, we're doing a really, really nice job. Some of it out here is working with
Come on,
a
Carla.
small ring with a lot of animals, and just cooperation of that a piece of livestock we're showing can get really tough out here. And so we're all learning together how to maneuver in maybe tight quarters, and that's what these shows are about. Heck, I don't know where you're going to end up showing all these things, and you get in situations like this, and it can be daunting, it can be challenging, just get them all spread out and set up the right way and kind of claim your spot. And so I think that's a lot of the challenges we're seeing. Really great set of showmen, top to bottom, phenomenal job, guys. Let's give them a big round of applause. They deserve it.
Is that for this or is that for breed? Perfect. And put them in that order. Yes. Okay. there's 9 in this one. Yes, that's fine. You guys might want to back over here because the big space is wide.
Good, Carla.
You want this? You want it?
Sí resultó la caminada que les daba, que le paraba a la chinga que le paraba al cuco en la mañana todos los días.
Argue with you a bit. The one that puts it all together for me in the most appropriate manner is the weather that leads the way. I love that one just in terms of his chest floor width, his stoutness of his forearm. His forearm is bolder, square, and wider all the way across the center line of his skeleton in comparison to the doe kid that's coming second, okay? He gets a little bit more aggressive in terms of his jump muscle than I deem ideal. When we're setting the motion, he dips just a touch behind his blade. Very, very nice weather to start, followed by a very, very nice doe kid. One that you have to love from the side. Her levelness of top and hip for a female and a goat is absolutely incredible. I love how tall she is at the point of her whip, at the top side of her wither. I love how square she is right there behind her blade. She beats that one that beats you in that particular regard. We start to study this one. She funnels just a nickel to the base of her forearm. She's not quite as blown open through her chest. She's second today, but a very, very close second. The powerhouse comes next. Most muscular one, big ripped up back, giant hip and stifle, right? This one in terms of being a little forward in terms of the angle to his shoulder and his knee. When you set that guy in motion, he does not carry himself with quite the presence the two ahead of him did. Very, very nice scope to run in second. Love the way that guy handles. A rugged, big-footed, stout-built one comes next. I love this thing in terms of his side view shape, his length of body. He's good in terms of his rib. He's very, very heavy structured and big-footed, and I love that. With that comes this, a nickel extra shoulder, a nickel thick whenever she's planted there. When we set that one into motion, she wants to shorten up in terms of her stride, wants to get straighter in terms of the angle to her shoulder, doesn't inch up well enough out of her hip and hind leg to get her higher. A plainer one that comes next, but just has more skeletal width, more body, more dimension. The one that comes next, we're starting to get to the ones that just don't have enough muscle to compete, just give up some length, some extension, some overall touch and tone. Give those kids a round of applause, a very, very nice clap. A relatively competitive show here today, especially on the top end. I think we've got differences in terms of types and kinds out here, and there's one that lies in the middle and simply does not strike me as one that has just a major hole, but simply has a lot of extras. One of those extras is being simply the best built, the best design from the side, one of the heavier structured ones out here, incredibly fresh, incredibly dimensional, perfect in terms of belly shape and dimension from the side. Lightweight's going to be your champion. We'll get second out of that division over here for an option for reserve.
We'll just talk the top 5 over here, and we'll kind of tell you maybe some of my sorting preferences on the next set that stands behind me. I'm going to tell you, I noticed that a lot of these are school draw lambs, and it gets tough. That's our goal out here, right, is consistency and maybe being pretty uniform in a group, and I think we were that. Across the board, I don't know if we're going to talk just a ton of look and build down maybe towards the lower end, because I think we're really, for me, and when we step in behind that sucker, I think she just gets a little flatter in terms of forward, a little more generic all the way through in terms of outer leg shape and maybe how we just join that kind of hip-loin junction there. Young ladies that comes next, power, one that maybe gets a little up in its top, a few that get a little flatter in the rib shape, taller structured kind of livestock don't maybe hit you as quite just stout and burly. Really high quality class. Congratulations.
That quality here to this lineup. I think it does get close between these top three. In my mind, the heavyweight, just in terms of rib cage and bodies, maybe just a nickel more mature than I deem ideal. Biggest thing is from the side when we start to study this one, just in terms of stifle shape and muscularity and length across the plane of that stifle, that one shortens up and gets just a nickel flatter. Our lightweight is one that's so good in terms of touch and handle and tone. One that's really, really good when we set that one out in motion, it gets out and goes very well. We get a little bit piecey, we get a little high in our jump muscle. We don't blend together quite as smooth from our loin and into our hip. And then we give up quite a bit of skeletal width right there in our pin set compared to our reserve champion that comes out of the middleweight division. A big-footed, heavy-structured one that's very, very muscular, has an intriguing look. Wish that one was a little bolder in terms of his forerib, but an awfully, awfully nice goat to run in second reserve of this particular drive.